Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to be continuing my first Terraria playthrough. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing, check me out on Twitch and Discord, links down below. Alright, so first thing I did was I wanted to find out what different potions I could use for some future boss fights. It took me a while to figure out how to put water in a bottle because I was being dumb and wasn't looking at the crafting menu, but eventually I did manage to figure it out, and I was able to go back to camp and check out all the different potions I could make. After that, I went ahead and made myself some iron skin potions, and then while trying to put away my other materials, I just decided to deposit all, and that's when I learned that, yeah, apparently I already had 3 iron skin potions, so that's cool. Then, from your guys' suggestions, I decided to build an air fortress for the skeleton fight, and after building just a couple platforms, putting some campfires and lights up, I was ready to take on the fight. So, I just started it up. Now, admittedly, I thought that I was gonna never get up to my fort, but it was fine. Turned out just fine. So this was my first fight with an iron skin potion, so that was pretty cool. It was good to have some kind of defense. As you can probably see, I'm just going for the hands here, just doing pretty basic stuff. And yeah, I'd say the fight went pretty well. Was able to take out both of the hands pretty quickly after the start of the fight. And man, how much just having a little bit of extra room helps, because wow, being trapped in the bottom there was awful, but even just having these 2 tiny air platforms just meant I could run around forever. And thanks to the iron skin potions and my armor, he wasn't actually doing that much. Eventually I realized that this guy wasn't doing too much, so I was just prioritizing standing next to the fires. Once I started doing that, I really didn't lose more than like 40 health at a time, so that was pretty good. And yeah, I don't know how, but this was just 1,000 times easier than before, so that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, there really wasn't any reward, which I'm kind of sad about, but I do now get to go down here, which I guess is reward enough. And I just started picking up books. I found this person who was selling some interesting stuff. She's selling things like wrenches and wire and stuff that could be really cool for like automation or setting some kind of trap. I don't know. It just seems really interesting. Then I started getting to these bigger open areas, and this first one was kind of annoying because these spikes did a crazy amount of damage, and they were kind of everywhere. Unfortunately, I just wasn't smart enough to dodge them all the time, and so I just kept accidentally hitting them. But I cleared out a majority of it so that I could just walk around normally and not be impeded by that. I found this locked chest here, which I think is interesting, but I can't really do anything about it right now because I don't have whatever key it's looking for. I did end up finding not just books, but specifically this water bolt, which is a magic weapon, so that'll be interesting. And yeah, I ended up coming to these bigger areas, but unfortunately this is where things started to go downhill. I wasn't seeing just all the enemies, and I just kept hitting weird things that I didn't see coming, like this floor breaking, and just these fireballs moving around the stage like if they were in a game of Smash. I kept finding these chests, and I found this really big thing that I was excited for. It looked pretty shiny. I was pretty interested in finding out what it was, and unfortunately I just got completely overwhelmed, and after taking just way too much heat, I ended up dying. But that's alright. I got back to camp and tried to go back when I realized there was some sort of like invasion going on. I mean, in the bottom right you can see it's Goblin Army. So I assume this has to do with that like pedestal thing, because this is another like wave of army. So that's pretty interesting. After a bit, I decided to move over towards this flat plane, which I had actually made for these types of waves, and I just started gunning them down from there, either shooting down the hill or just shooting across the platform. But yeah, overall this wasn't too difficult. finish it off pretty quickly. And then after cleaning up the town and messing around with some items that I got, I decided that was probably it for this week. So thank you guys so much for watching, subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope you have a fantastic day.